Hello everybody. Kelvin here and Crease.
Hello everyone.
Sitting beside me as always, as opposed to above me. I don't know why I even pointed that out. What a stupid thing to say. How does this show work? Well, let me explain. Crease compiles a list of topics and things, questions, things that he thinks will be interesting to us. He's compiled that over the last few days or the last week or whatever, and he comes before us now with those subjects. As soon as I grow tired of those subjects, I ring my bell. Oh, that was a very muted sound. Oh, yeah, that was a bit better. As soon as I get tired, I ring my bell and we move on to the next subject on his list. So, Chris, what is the first subject on your list?
Well, the first thing I'd like to talk to you about tonight, Kelvin, is one of Crease's hypotheticals. What would you do, Kelvin, if you were the last man alive on Earth? How would you survive? What would you do?
I would call you, Crease.
I'm dead.
You're dead.
You are the last man alive on Earth.
I can't have you and me being the last men alive.
No.
Well, in that case, I can tell you that I would last approximately 6.5 minutes.
But I mean, literally, I imagine there's been some sort of...
Before I was killed by an owl, or fell down an open manhole,
sure,
or suffocated when some leaves blew in my face.
Sure.
There would be...
Okay, so I suppose let's imagine it's not been like a nuclear disaster, when of course you'll probably die of the radiation. Let's imagine there's... I'm reading The Stand at the minute by Stephen King.
Right.
So there's some sort of disease gone around the world and has wiped everyone out.
Right.
Everyone is dead.
Explosive diarrhea
has
killed the entire population.
You're the only person that's immune.
But apart from me, who didn't eat the prawns.
Yes,
yeah.
Because you're
I thought it was fireworks night.
You see,
yeah.
You're so sessile, you don't move. You just
okay.
So you go out and you suddenly discover everything. I mean, what would you do? How would you survive that?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I have no idea how I'd survive. I mean, do I have to kill animals? Well, initially you'd be all right because you could survive by smashing windows, stealing food, that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, that's
I'd be all right with that. Animals, wild animals, they're not going to be an issue initially. I mean, I can tell you, I would live until the windows had all been smashed and all the food had been eaten from Tesco's, and then it would be over, because as soon as I have to start fending for myself, have to start cooking for myself, have to start starting fires. I mean, the other thing, actually, thinking about it, is all power's going to go.
Yes.
I'd be dead in a week, actually. Because as soon as power's out and I can't see anything, I can't do anything.
So you've not planned anything?
I can't heat anything up. I can't cook anything.
No.
Ding meals are out. I'd be screwed. A week. I would live a week.
You know cold beans?
Let's flip it. Let's flip this.
All right,
because I can tell you, I'd be dead. I'd be dead in a week.
Well, you see,
how would you survive?
I'm a bit of a survivalist. I've got a plan.
You are. You see, this is my point.
Yeah, I've got
you
a
watch
plan.
things like Bear Grylls.
Yeah.
I'm going to put some situations to you. I'm going to put some situations to you, and you're going to tell me how you survive.
Okay.
Right, you've got your bag.
Yep.
Do you want anything else before you leave the house? I want you to tell me what you're going to leave the house with.
Something I currently have.
Right.
Or can it be something like a dream list? Do you know what I mean?
Well, no. What is a practical thing? What? No. Right now, it happened tonight. So what you've got in your home?
I'd take a knife, a big knife.
Right.
Probably a big stick, if I had a big stick. And a catapult.
And your girlfriend, and a photograph of your girlfriend still smeared with her... Well, I suppose if it's explosive diarrhea, let's just say with her tears.
Yeah.
What a thought. Okay, so you leave the house.
Well, obviously I would take my loved ones with me.
But they're dead. Their lower half is missing.
I would probably be not in an emotional state to leave the house. But let's assume that I've gone into complete survival mode.
It's a year afterwards.
I'm just doing a supply run.
A year has passed after the outbreak of it.
And I'm the only person alive.
You're the only person alive. A year later, what happens when you go outside?
Saw, knife. I would probably have accrued a shotgun or a rifle.
No, you haven't, because you wouldn't be able to get one of those. So no, you haven't got one of those.
Okay, my catapult then.
A catapult? Do you have a catapult?
I have a catapult. Yes.
Right, so you've got your catapult. You've got that. Right, okay, fine.
And probably my survival key in case I get back and something's happened to the house.
Right,
so I take enough with me.
You leave the house.
Yeah.
Leave the house.
Yeah.
First thing that happens is a year on.
Okay.
Everything is overgrown.
Yes.
So what do you do? How do you deal with it?
I've got my saw and my knife, so I can...
Next problem.
Yeah.
You're sawing through it and you hear howls.
From the plants?
No. From...
Right.
No.
I was...
Oh, God, no!
Okay, good.
All plant life has become sentient.
Sentient. I'm fucked.
So the guilt is the next thing to attack. No, right. So the next thing is you hear howls from wolves. You hear wolves baying nearby.
Right.
What do you do?
Are they tracking me? Do I fear they're tracking me?
You don't know. You can hear wolves, and you.
Well,
can
obviously, I
hear
would avoid that area.
Howling.
If I thought they were tracking me, I would cross water.
They're getting nearer.
I would cross water and probably zigzag up a stream to disperse my scent.
Really?
Yeah. Go up a stream and zigzag.
But what if there's no stream nearby? You're in the middle of a town.
Well, I would assume I would fight them then. If I think they're tracking me, I would. You would be very cautious, and I would probably
bare-chested.
No, I'd have my sword. I've said I've got my knife, and I'd probably fling my catapult, stones at them for my catapult to try and scare them off.
There's a pack of 14 wolves.
Yeah. Well, I'm probably fucked, but then I would probably get to I think I'd be alright because I'd go from building to building as well.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? I think I could survive that pretty easy.
Why? Well, actually, I'll tell you what. The first thing to do is to move into a shop.
No. Badly defensible. Big glass plates.
But what are you defending? You're the last person on Earth.
Wolves! You've just said there's 14 wolves around. 14. I don't want something that can be easily smashed. It'll take wolves a lot longer to get to a brick wall.
But it will through glass, are they?
I don't know. I don't want to give them the option. I don't want them to see me inside.
Come through glass.
No, but it could smash in a
storm.
But you
can use doors and stuff. They're not it's not like the raptors in Jurassic Park. They're not evolving in front of you. They're not learning to use technology, are they, the wolves?
No, but I would sooner have something solid. What would you rather be in a war? Would you rather be in a solid concrete bunker or in a shop with big glass windows?
In a war?
In
a bunker, but obviously this isn't a war situation.
So why would you move into a shop?
Because it's got all the food, you stupid bastard.
Yeah, you can move near to a shop and have it as your supply thing.
Next door, alright, fine. You move next door to a shop.
Okay, yeah.
Move next door to a shop. Or above a shop. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, alright.
I didn't mean you were going to sit in the aisles of
Tesco's. No, I'd go to a distribution centre.
I meant that you were going to the area upstairs or something.
Go to a distribution centre.
Alright, so there's more food.
Alright, yeah.
Okay, fine.
I'd make myself a food king. I'd make houses. I'd make big cities out of tins.
Excellent. Well, I think we've thoroughly sorted out. Final question. How long do you think you would survive?
Indefinitely. I really do.
I honestly think you would survive until old age.
Until I got an infection.
I was just about to say, because as soon as you get ill, anything like that...
No, but I'd just get broad-spectrum antibiotics from a hospital. I'd go and steal broad-spectrum antibiotics.
Yeah, but you're not a doctor. You've no idea what you're going to be taking. You could go in there and end up coming out all puffy.
I'd probably just take a lot of morphine as well, if it was available.
Yeah, you would. I mean,
I'd probably just I'd probably just become a drug addict.
Right. Well, there we are then.
There we are. That's that one sorted. Excellent.
Next topic.
Right. Well, yeah. Next topic, Kelvin.
Loud.
What?
Next topic.
I'm terribly sorry.
It was definitely me.
Just so I'm clear.
Shut up. Don't even say it. Right. Next topic.
Okay. It's kind of national news, but I don't need play.
National news?
Play this thing. Oh, Christ.
Well, you're
all right, yes, hang on, sorry. Right, onwards. Virgin Galactic.
Virgin Galactic, yes.
As you're aware, it is Richard Branson firing people off into space.
Yes, that's right, yes.
For money. They pay an inordinate amount of money. He fires them out into
space.
Into the vast blackness of space. Where
in the opposite direction from the sun.
Where they hope to come back to Earth. If not, they are catapulted out.
Well, I mean, that isn't the reason they're going up there. I mean, let's be realistic about that. They're not getting in the ship so that they can be fired out to come back to Earth. That isn't the thing at the forefront of their mind when they take off is not, I can't wait to get back down here again. Because otherwise, why would you leave in the first place?
No, but I would argue it is a fairly important part of the process.
Yes, I'm not saying you don't.
I'm not saying they want to go. I'm not saying they spent millions of pounds to be shot off into space to die of starvation out in the cold blackness of space.
Cold desolation of space. Yeah. No, I'm not suggesting that. But my point is, it's not forefront of their mind when they left.
It'd be pretty much at the forefront of mine would be, I hope it doesn't blow up.
Well, obviously, when you're actually launching.
And I hope we can land fine.
Yeah, I'm not saying that when you first launch, you're not going, I hope I get back. That is fair. That is a fair point.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to emphasise that when you are first signing the dotted line, sign your name here to get blasted into space.
Yes.
They are not thinking, I really hope it's a short trip because I really cannot wait to land in the water. That's the only reason they're going up there, because they want to fall out of the sky into the sea. That's the thing they're most looking forward to. It's the world's best water flume. Why? Come on, move on. Right, why did you bring this even up?
Well, I was just wondering if would you go?
Well,
would you travel into space?
That is an interesting question. I would go because obviously it'd be an absolutely, once in a lifetime experience, and of course you pay to do it a second or third time. Mm-hmm. But it is an amazing experience, obviously, to go out into space, to float around in the atmosphere, to look upon the Earth as if it were a marble.
Oh, so you're going to go quite far out?
Well, there's not a lot of point of just going up a few hundred yards, is there? That's like going up a big ladder or a high plane. Yeah. I want to go. You might as well. I want to go at least up to. I want to sort of be like. I want to be alongside the moon.
No,
I want to be adjacent to the moon.
No, that's weeks of travel away.
But what? I'm going into fucking space. I might as well make an event of it. I'm not going up there for half an hour. I want to be up there for ages.
You get bored.
Well,
you'd be trapped on a little space capsule.
Don't get me wrong. I've never really understood the appeal of long-term space travel.
Yes, because you don't return to Earth.
That's exactly. You're right. See, what you said was right all along. Because there's obviously a point at which point you say, do you know what? I came up here to see space.
Yeah.
I think I've seen enough. It's a big black expanse.
Yes.
There's very occasionally there's a little bit of white in the distance.
Yes.
But fundamentally black.
Yeah.
Obviously that's gonna limit the appeal after
Absolutely.
say a week or so.
Yeah.
But I still think a week or two in space. It'd be
fun. I think being like in low orbit would be more interesting.
Take some board games.
I think like the space station distance, International Space Station, would be more interesting. Because you can look out and go, fuck, that's the Himalayas. Or, look, that's the
that's fair. No, that's true, actually. That's a fair point.
So to me,
you can appreciate the Earth and being on a space station. If if they jazzed it up a bit and made it a bit more palatable to guests.
Yeah.
Have a swimming pool. You can have a swimming pool. It'd just be a big floating ball of water.
Wouldn't that be cool, though? You could just have a giant ball of water and you just climb into it with your head sticking out the top.
Like in Mario Galaxy.
Exactly like in Mario Galaxy. You just swim around inside it.
Okay. But I don't understand. What is the purpose of going into space? What is the actual? What do they do in space? What do you gain from going into space?
Well, it's exploring something we know nothing about.
No, but that isn't the
point
reason.
In going to
that
Portugal?
Isn't the reason that the Americans go into space, is it? They're not. I mean, they might. I mean, like, maybe the astronauts believe that, and they might say that. But there is obviously a practical side to it. There's a scientific or a business angle. What is the angle that justifies it to the money?
Like imperial. Expansion, I suppose.
Imperial expansion, you think, is their motivation? Well,
I think they can go...
You think Americans want to go into space so they can take over the universe?
I think that America would, if it could put Marines on the moon, would do it.
Well, I mean, America would put Marines anywhere they possibly could, but I don't think that's their main prime motivation for going into space.
It's mining and stuff, isn't it?
Mining.
They want to mine certain things.
Right.
Mine certain things.
Precious ores.
Precious ores and gases.
Ores and gas.
Yep.
That's it. That's the reason they go up there.
It's just exploration. Why did they sail off into the seas?
I don't know. I don't know, Crease. I don't understand.
Just to explore. It's on our nature to
I'm not
explore.
inquisitive. I'm not inquisitive.
Then why are you going to fucking space?
Because I would like to float around.
I thought it was just weightlessness you want to experience.
I want to experience weightlessness.
Oh, so you can do that on Earth?
I assure you I can't. I'm anything but weightless.
Do you know what I mean? What is it? Just so you've no interest in the actual space of it?
I'm not going up there to do science experiments. I don't want to be taking a petri dish up with me. I'm going up there to float around for a few days and look out the window and look at Earth and go, oh, that's nice. Maybe I could write a poem about how nice it is up here or whatever. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't go up there for long. I mean, I genuinely, I don't understand what the point is of going up there. There must be a reason. I'm not going to do the mining, so what's the point?
Then why are you going up?
I think a more interesting question is what are the realm? I tell you what I think is interesting. What is the scope of space technology, space travel? What is the scope of space travel, of exploration, of space exploration? What I'm saying is, in 500 years' time, do you reckon we'll be like the Starship Enterprise, travelling through space in ships with hundreds of thousands of people on them? Or do you reckon in 500 years' time, it's just going to be 10 people on a slightly bigger rocket than we've got now, going to a different bit of the moon?
I'd imagine we'll probably all be dead by then.
Humanity
will probably.
No,
all be
I'm
dead by
saying,
then.
imagine they weren't dead.
Okay, imagine we work together.
Humanity.
Imagine we formed a
Imagine
federation
we
of
somehow-
planets. Imagine we formed a federation of planets, and
No,
we had
I
all
don't want you
races
to
working
I don't want you to
together,
come up with a completely
like a
fictional...
like a Japanese person flying, and a Russian man, and a Scottish engineer.
That's not what I want. That's not what I'm asking.
No.
You know it. I'm not asking if, an impossible scenario happened. Will we be the technology of Star Trek? I'm not asking, will it be like Star Trek?
Yeah.
What I'm asking is, assuming we weren't wiped out by global warming or anything, like something like that, assuming nothing
Yeah, we
happens
actually
to us,
survive. Yeah, I'm with you.
if we carried on the current course of technology and development and constant advancement, where do you reckon space exploration will be in 500 years or 1,000 years? Or that's what I'm asking you.
In 500 years, I reckon we'll be on Mars. Like properly on Mars, though.
Right.
Not like a base. I mean, like on Mars.
Actually on Mars.
I
Okay,
think
that's
so.
interesting.
I really think we'll be.
When you say
colonising
you're
Mars.
on it, do you think we'll be actually colonising? You think we'll be living on Mars?
Because I think that's the most believable. It's got relatively good.
How many people will be on there? Will there be like whole cities, or do you reckon there'll be?
Well, I don't know. I mean, bear in mind
installations.
That world population's gone up by 1 billion people in the last 20 years.
I don't know,
I would argue, there'd be probably.
So you don't think anyone's?
But I think they'll take it over.
Be on Earth? You don't think people will be on Earth?
Well, they will be on Earth. Of course, we'll be on Earth.
Right, but do you think? But we'll have destroyed Earth by then, or
Yeah,
it'll
I
be
imagine
in a bad way.
it'd be in a bad way.
It'll be in a bad way.
But I think if we all buggered off, I think it wouldn't be too bad.
You genuinely think this is possible? You think this is feasible if you went for 500? We're not talking about fantasy.
I'm not doing this for
no.
I genuinely believe
think
that's
that.
probably.
No, I'm interested in that. That's
500 years, I think so. Yeah.
500 years.
I think
1,000 years. Where do you think we are in 1,000 years?
It all
Assuming
depends
we're
on
not
when
wiped out by
of course,
a purple space dragon or a Mothra.
Yeah, Unicron.
Unicron has not consumed the planet.
Yes,
what's where are we?
I genuinely, I think. See, it depends. In 1,000 years,
mining the sun. Do you think we'll be mining the sun?
We'll be using it. I think we'll be using it for power. And
Yes,
not like
that's
solar. I think
interesting,
we'll just have enveloped it in a little tiny sheath.
A huge, like a big skin that
just sucks it up
all around the sun,
There'll
absorbing
be jump
its
leads
power.
going into the sun.
Right. Okay.
And there's powering everything. Everything.
Powering everything. Washing machines.
Yep.
Hats.
Yeah, I really believe it's going to have to be something like that.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that was right. Onwards. I'd like to talk for a little bit, Kelvin, so don't ring your bell straight away.
Right.
Because this takes a bit of explanation. Are you familiar with the concept of intrusive thoughts?
Well, go on, explain it to me.
Intrusive thoughts are... I suppose the nearest thing is, do you remember Peter Bainham did that Peter's Mad Thoughts, where something would suddenly come to him?
But that's not...
No, that's not an intrusive thought,
That's not
really.
an intrusive thought. That's
intrusive thoughts are more like... Well, I'll give you an example, because I had one the other day. I was out walking with Mrs. Crease, and we were walking around a lake. And I looked back, and there was a man on his own, right, just walking about 20 metres behind us, walking on his own. So I looked back, and I thought, it's a little bit odd. He doesn't look like he's dressed to be out for a walk. So instantly, my imagination starts running.
Right,
and
okay, yeah.
in my head, I was suddenly convinced that he was going to murder us. I was absolutely convinced this man was going to run up to us and start stabbing us. And specifically that he would stab Jess.
Right.
So in my head, while I'm sort of staring off at these geese, I pictured him running up and sort of stabbing Jess in the shoulder, and then me pulling the knife out and sort of wrestling with him.
Yes.
And then I pictured like falling into the lake with him and having to having to hold his head under the water while this arm's still coming out of the water, trying to madly slash at me, and holding that arm down and holding him under the water while I saw all the bubbles and him thrashing around underneath me.
Right.
And I pictured myself holding him under the water until he drowned.
Right.
And
because he might be a psychopath. Because he might be a psychopath.
And then I would stand up, and then I would have to run over and start attending to Jess and giving her first aid and stuff like that.
Right.
But I pictured all of this in my mind.
So you went through all the
I went through the whole connotation.
Do you think that's what serial killers are?
I do.
You reckon serial killers maybe are actually completely innocent people who have gone through a conversation in their head with somebody, and they're convinced that the person they go on to stab or strangle was actually going to
Stab or strangle
was
them.
going to stab or strangle them. You're preempting. It's a preemptive strike.
Yeah. So like me drowning the man in the lake would have been
The irony is there has never been a single serial killer. Only people who feared that somebody else was a serial killer. Throughout all of history, every act of violence, every act of cruelty was actually a preemptive strike for an alternative, hypothetical act of violence or cruelty. That was one of the most philosophical things I've ever said.
Could you win a fight? Do you think you could even... how would you win a fight? If you had, let's say you're walking along around a park and a huge guy's behind you and he's sort of...
So the situation you actually described. So I'm walking along. I'd probably grab his arm.
Okay.
Can I do that? I don't know if he's got a knife. I mean, I sometimes think if somebody's got a knife, in some ways the best thing is to maybe let them stab you once, take the initial stabbing.
You're right.
No, wait, hear me through.
I think that's official advice, actually. Most martial arts will say the best thing to do is let them stab you a little bit.
If you are cornered and somebody's got a knife, I would guess it is better to be stabbed once, knowingly, and a controlled stabbing. So you direct their arm so they stab it into your side.
Laboratory conditions.
But knowing you're going to be stabbed, so that the second the blade is in you, you are going for their eyes, for their...
Sure.
For whatever. And
I'm coming at you. I come at you. Controlled stabbing.
I want to control stabbing if I've got no option but to stabbing.
Obviously,
if I'm going to get stabbed, I want it to
like...
be a controlled stabbing. That's my point. I'm not saying I'm not going to go, sorry mate, I don't suppose you've got a knife on you, have you? Yeah, I suppose so. He pulls out the knife, right, just stand there, will you? And then I run at it. I'm not going to, I'm not talking about that.
No, I'm saying there's no such thing as a controlled stabbing.
It's a controlled stabbing if you know they're going to stab you and you know that they're going to go for your throat or your, an organ or
sacrifice something.
I might go. I might put my hand through my hand. No, I'd want my hands. I might try and do it like I might put my leg or my thigh in the way, something like that. But then that fucks your leg. I think maybe the side. So maybe
you've
I don't know. An internal organ though.
Basically, you would buffer their razor sharp knife. A buttock. You would bend over in front of a man running at you with a knife.
I'm just saying in a dark alley. My first port of call would be to bend over and allow him to stab me in the buttock.
And then clench your buttocks, therefore
snapping the blade. Snapping the blade off inside. No, I would okay, well let's think. I would probably try and find a part of my body that was you could stab but it wouldn't kill me. I'm
on the same page as you. Apart from the fact that I
can't... What would you do then? What would you do? I come for you with a knife because...
Well, the main thing is to control the knife, isn't it? Right. So as soon as the
knife... That's what I'm doing by taking it
you're taking it into your body.
Yes, but then...
if you can block it...
when it's in me, I would do something to... I would blind him in that point. Well, because when he's stabbing, when he's got the knife in me...
I wouldn't trust... If someone lunged at me, I wouldn't trust my skills to be able to divert it to the gap between my fucking pancreas and my fucking kidneys. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't go... But I'm angular at that exact moment. So we would just gently touch a layer of blubber. Do you know what I mean? And get lodged there, right? I wouldn't want the knife entering me.
Right.
So I would do everything I
think a calf would be alright.
No, because I think you can... I could demonstrate if you want. That if I got onto the floor, I reckon I could get you away from me without...
I'm not kidding. We're going to do it now.
Okay, hang on.
Okay, what we're going to do... we're just moving some space in my room. I don't know if this is going to be picked up by the microphone, but we're going to try it.
This is right, okay.
Right, we've cleared a big space in the room.
I'm going to attempt to
I've got a knife. I'm an assailant. I'm standing here.
So you run towards me, right? Now, my first port of call... Right. So the first port of call is to try and kick you away, right? So...
Right, so I come at you.
Right? Come try and stab me.
Ow! Right, look, that really did hurt. Right, okay. But then, right, okay, fine. Don't kick me hard. But right. It is entirely possible that I can't get near to Crease because he's just kicking me.
This is very bad radio.
I'm gonna do one more thing. We're gonna try one more thing.
Here we go.
You will be the one with the knife.
I'll be the stabber.
You.
Okay.
Right.
Right. So this is your plan to do a controlled stabbing.
Right, we're gonna do it in slow motion. I'll show you what I'm gonna do. Right. So come at me. You've stabbed me there
in the heart. for the benefit of the people that are listening, I just stabbed him in the heart. Was that your controlled? Was that your controlled? Did I actually? I know what you did there. Did you get it so it went perfectly in between the two atriums of your heart, so it just sort of basically went straight through your heart. Again, yeah. It's quite good fun. That
was quite good fun, wasn't it?
I saw recently on I think one of the websites that there is now a 10 pence pill that can add up to 8 years to your life. It's a simple pill, contains things like aspirin and various other things.
Right.
Reduces the risk of heart attacks, strokes, all those sorts of things, right?
So it doesn't actually... So it doesn't add 10 years to your life. It's not a pill that gives you 10 more years of life. Like in a computer game where you get an extra bit added to your life bar.
It's not like when you get another heart.
It's not another heart or another life.
It just means you're less likely
to die young.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
But for a lot of people, that could mean adding an extra 10 years.
That's misleading, though. That is misleading. It doesn't give you 10 years. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, go on. What's your question?
I mean, if I could add 8-10 years to your life, would you want that?
Would I want, what, 10 more years?
10 more years.
Well, it depends when you're adding them. You see, this is the problem. Because if I can... if I could get 10 years to my childhood... Definitely.
Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome.
That'd be amazing. 10 more years of fucking around, doing fuck all. 10 more years of Lego. 10 more years of being read stories by your mum.
That'd be awesome, actually.
You know?
Yeah, no, 10 years of childhood.
10 more years of breast milk. But, like... I'll put it this way. The only time I'm going to get 10 years added to my life is the end of my life. And I don't want another 10 years at the end of my life.
I don't know why people do.
I don't want that. I want to get to 60 and then be crushed. I don't care. I want a quick, swift death at 60.
Do you think 60 is too
young? 70 maybe.
See, I think 70 things start going wrong.
All right, 70.
Things start going wrong at 70.
70. Bang, I'm out.
Okay.
There's no way I'm going to get better as I get older. I can only get worse.
The hell,
Do you know what I mean? I used to say I had gorgeous days. I'm not ugly, but I'm not attractive.
No.
But I did have gorgeous days. And what gorgeous days were not, despite the name, they weren't whole days where I was gorgeous. No. It was a moment. It was a moment when everything came into play. And for those few brief seconds, I was gorgeous. I would look in a mirror and the light would be just right. Maybe I just had a haircut. I'd shaved and the stubble was the exact right length. Yeah. And suddenly, my face would just come alive. And I would look at myself and I think, I'm gorgeous. I'm actually gorgeous. Yep. And I wasn't saying, like, I am a gorgeous person, I'm an attractive person. I'm not. I'm a horrible, pale skeleton of a man. Yeah. A horrible, like an old Dijin spirit. But for that brief flicker of a moment, I could look at myself in the mirror and everything, I'd say the lighting, the shade, the beard, everything would just look right. And I would just think, this one moment, this one brief moment, I have it.
Absolutely.
I have it. And I used to, and if I would then turn away and say, hey, Crease, come over here, come and look at me, I'm looking gorgeous.
Yeah.
You would come over and the moment would have passed.
Yes.
I would look back in the mirror and it would be gone, But those days, the days when that would happen, I called gorgeous days. I would have one, back then I would have one maybe a month. I would see myself.
It is nice.
I haven't had a gorgeous day. I haven't had a gorgeous day for, I can't think, probably 3 months. Probably 3 or 4 months now. And
what's gone wrong?
And between that, and even before that, it was probably another 3 or 4 months before that. I have so few gorgeous days now where I just look in the mirror and I just think, wow, boom, I am looking good at this exact moment. Make the most of it, enjoy it, because you know it won't last, it will be gone. It's as ephemeral as a fairy in the glen. And I think I would probably have sex with myself at this point. I would have sex with myself.
Good on you.
And that's an honest. If I was cloned at this exact moment, and this is what I would look like, I would at least be tempted. But here's a thought: would you have sex with yourself? Now you're straight, right? I'm bisexual, but you are straight. But just bear with me a second here.
If I was a woman,
you were cloned. Right. If you were cloned, no, you have to look exactly like yourself. Okay. Would you do any sexual thing with yourself, knowing that you would know all of your kinks, your fantasies? I'm not saying would you actually fuck yourself because you're straight, but would you be tempted to maybe masturbate the other version of yourself?
I don't know, because it would feel like somebody else's. Wouldn't it?
I genuinely, that's the thing, I suppose. But I would. Know. You see, I would, because I think I would.
But you know what I would do? I would watch myself having sex with somebody.
Ooh.
If I thought I looked good, if I thought I like him, he's a good-looking fella.
Yes.
In the same way that I can watch pornography,
you can watch pornography
where there is a male person in it, I'd probably watch myself.
Well, you see, I, as a bisexual man, don't mind having sex with men. So, from my point of view, if I had myself cloned, as I am now, I wouldn't want to have sex with myself. my standards are too high to have sex with myself. But I would be willing to have sex with myself during a gorgeous moment or during my younger years. So I would be willing to have sex with myself like when I was like a 19 or 20-year-old man,
Sure.
having a gorgeous day, looking really good.
Sure.
Because I would know all my like kinks, my things that I liked. I would
course.
I would be able to, and I'd be able to do it with wild abandon.
Are you not worried that you'd find your younger self annoying? Like, I listen back to things like if I recorded myself or something, doing something when I'm younger, and I think, oh, Jesus.
I don't want to have a relationship with myself. I want to have sex with myself.
A younger
I'm
version
saying
of you.
no. I'm not saying I'm not saying I just want to have sex with me because I'm attractive. I'm not attractive. What I'm saying is the advantage to having sex with yourself would be that you would know your ins. You would know all of the things that you'd like. You would be able to say, oh no, don't pull that. Don't stick that there. Don't twist those. Oh, do that again. Oh, yeah. You'd be able to. You'd know all of your ins and outs. All of your sexual fantasies
what if you were
things.
somebody with massive self-loathing? If you were somebody
I don't care about them. I'm talking about me. I'm not talking about them. I don't care about someone else. I'm talking about me. Do I have sex with myself?
It's just not even incest, is it?
It's not incest.
It's basically masturbation on a.
It's masturbation. That's what it is.
Industrial scale.
Yes. Yeah. So what the hell was the start of that topic?
I have no memory of it whatsoever.
I have no idea how we got onto that topic. Right, well, I think that's pretty much us done. Thank you for listening, everybody. Thank you to Crease for compiling his list. You can find us on social media, all these usual social media places. Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. We are Radioface Comedy. That's Radioface Comedy on Twitter, YouTube and Facebook. On YouTube, we also put up a lot of videos and comedy clips and various bits and pieces that we've made. And that's it, basically. So thank you for listening, and until next time, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.